Hi, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the Spooky One-Point Perspective Landscape Final Draft, Step 1. You're going to get a piece of watercolor paper and you'll arrange it portrait at your table. You're going to measure the height of it and make a couple tick marks at 4 inches, which is 1/3 of the paper. So from the top, 4 inches down, you'll make tick marks and draw a horizon line across the paper. That is going to be where you're going to develop the haunted house. So once you draw that horizon line, it's time to draw the haunted house in the center of the paper. Remember, the haunted house is made up of 2 shapes, rectangles and trapezoids, and you can refer to your practice, but the entire time of drawing your house is going to be ruler drawn, starting with your middle rectangle that is stacked vertically. That will determine the height of your house. Once you have that drawn, you will draw a series of trapezoids and rectangles that from the top are smaller and they gradually get wider as you stack them beneath each other to create your stories. Use a ruler for the entire drawing to make sure that it looks as realistic and accurate as possible. And for this drawing, you'll use the ruler also to create your windows and window panes. Try to make a house that is at least 3 stories tall. Once you have your stories, use your ruler to create your windows. If you have circular windows, do your best to place them consistently on the paper. Once you're done with your windows, it's time to add your door. It is from your door that you want to create your converging lines. Since my door is in the center of my house, I'm putting my converging lines from the left to the right of the door. And then at the bottom of the paper, I'm going to measure in from the left and in from the right 1.5 inches. Once I have those tick marks, I'll line them up to the converging points outside of the house. And then it's time to add my final detail of the moon in the background and work on my trees. The trees are going to fade in the background and get larger in the foreground. So I'm making tick mark designations so I can stagger my trees so it makes that illusion. I'm starting with my smaller trees, and when I create one on the left, I repeat it on the right to stay consistent in terms of placement and size. Each time I draw a new set of trees, I'm drawing them taller, wider, and more branches, so it appears as though they're getting larger as they are getting closer to the bottom edge of the paper in the foreground. My final trees start at the very base of the paper and extend far out over the street. Then it's time to use my spot check to make sure I've met all my criteria.